Okay, so I just decided that I don't really care about beating the game anymore because I said this in one of the other Minecraft videos, but people don't care about what you're doing, in like content creation. People don't really care about what they're doing. I mean, they do to an extent, but it's more about who you are as a person and your personality. And I don't it's too hard for me to try to play Minecraft and talk at the same time. So I'm gonna play Minecraft, but I'm not gonna lock in. I'm just gonna play and have a good time. The thing I wanted to talk about in this silly little video is how this is a controversial take, but I think that AI should like own us. I think that everybody hates on AI. It's like, oh, AI slop this, AI slop that. It's taking our jobs. It's taking our money. It's taking what we are. But I understand where people come from when they say this, but I feel like, oh shoot, okay, um, okay, I said I would try to play Minecraft, but I actually am already geeked. Like I just can't focus on two things at once. I'll try a little harder, but the biggest reason, I think we should just let AI go, like just let it fly, is because it's the future. Like, no matter what we do, I don't think we can stop it, which is why I think we shouldn't try to at all. Uh, because if it's gonna happen, I think we should just let it happen. Because I think the future that it will bring isn't as bad as people think. Because, people are like, oh, it's gonna take all of our jobs, it's gonna take everything. But here's the thing, okay? Money won't be valuable if only the people, like the wealthy business owners that use AI to function their companies, they're not going to be making any money. Or, I mean, well, they will, maybe at first. But when no normal person has money, like, I don't have a job, you know, I have kids, I can't pay for anything, that's going to be everybody, besides for the business owners. But they can't make money. Like, the world doesn't spin if uh, money only works when everybody has it, but nobody has too much of it. Like, if I have $0, if 100 people have $0 and another person has $1 million, and we're the only people on Earth, that money's kind of useless. Like, what are they gonna do with $1 million? Like, the respect for what money is and what it means will go away if nobody has it.
Um, crap, some utensils here.
And with that, people aren't going to have to do anything. That might have been a big jump of point that I'm trying to make, but people aren't gonna have to do anything if AI is everything. If it does everything, like, I would trust AI governing the world more than the people that currently do. And I don't think that's that crazy of a thing to say. As long as we give AI the morals that we say we want to have, like, people on Earth, alright, this might be a bad thing to say, but it's true. I feel like people tend to be Diddy Bloods. Like, I almost feel like more people than not are Diddy Bloods. Like, it's crazy to say, but it feels like it's true. Donald Trump, clearly, he's on the Epstein files. He's probably not the greatest guy, alright? And neither was Epstein. But these are the people who are in power. Shoot, where was I gonna go with this? Oh, yeah. But as long as we tell, like, the AI that we craft and formulate to run our government and own us, as long as we, like, tell it to behave itself, theoretically it has to. And, like, people are like, oh, what if it goes rogue and kills us all? Har, har, har. Not har, har, but you know what I mean? Like, that's not gonna happen unless we make it happen. People are also, they make the argument, it's already happening. People don't, like, scientists and computer uh, science people, they don't know, so AI is doing stuff on its own, they don't know how it's doing it. But the thing is that's our own fault. Like, if AI fails, it's because of us, not because of it. AI is not the problem. We are the problem. We are all of our problems. And I believe that to be a fact. all of our problems are caused by ourselves, okay? You know, you could say, oh, what if a tornado comes and crashes into my house? You know, that's not a problem I caused. But how you deal with it and how society would deal with that, that's our fault. You know, like, in a perfect world, you wouldn't have to pay a nickel to fix that, you know, and, you know, yeah, I guess insurance pays for it technically. But, like, that's just a part of the system. Insurance is a scam. It's just another part of the matrix, you know, as they would have said back in the day when Andrew Tate was a prevalent figure. But, okay, so I don't like Andrew Tate. All right, he's not a great guy, you know. But I think the concept of the matrix is kind of accurate. Not in the sense that they made it. I think the matrix is real in the sense that the world we live in is all kind of superficial, and nothing that we have is real to who we are, if that makes sense. You know, I'm stupid. I mean, I guess that's our problem. John, I don't know. What the heck? But like everything, like money. Money is not real. Money is a concept we forced upon ourselves to give power and freedom. Like, it's not a great way to measure those things, in my opinion. Like money is kind of like a super freedom, like that's just true it is. But that's not the way we want freedom, you know? And there's no reason for us to have freedom that way, because money isn't a need, okay? Needs are water, food, and, like, shelter. And shelter, technically, you don't really even, well, yeah, you do kind of need it to live. You probably would die without it, I guess. Money isn't a need. It's just something we forced ourselves to want, and we forced ourselves to need. Like, technically, we need it, but not because we actually need it to live. It's not something we can't, like, our bodies will live without money, but it's impossible to actually make our bodies live without money because we've forced ourselves to need it. Oh my god, I can't, like, speak, but I feel like my point is kind of, like, understandable. I feel like it makes sense enough. This might be one of the worst villagers I've ever came to. Wow. Oh yeah, so how does that even connect to AI? What was I even talking about? Like, how did I get to this point of conversation? I don't know. So yeah, AI should own us. Where was I going? Where do I go with this? Like, what was I trying to say? I don't really know. I think that AI will bring us into a utopia if we let it happen. Because, you know, yeah, it's taken the water, but theoretically, I feel like AI should be able to make that not a problem. Like, if we make AI powerful enough, it's just gonna be a god. I'm not the most religious of people. Like, I know religion. Like, I know, like I feel like I like to think that I'm relatively, knowledgeable. Not, like, regarding specifics of religions, but, like, just understanding what it is and why it's, why it's the way that it is. But, I feel like, where was I going with that? I don't even know, actually. But, like, it's a God that would serve us, and people will say, oh, God serves us, like, the Christian God, he serves us, and, you know, blah, 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 words. But, like, that's not really I don't think any argument, like, any argument you use, like, religion as evidence for, like saying, like, any like religious argument isn't really, like, I'm not gonna say it's not valid, but it's not, like, it's not really, I'm at a loss for words here, man. Actually, I think I'm gonna edit this video. That'll make my life a lot easier. Okay, any argument that people make that stems from a religion really isn't, like, not tangible. Like, it's just not really supported. Like, you can't use religion as a reason, and you can't use it to reason, in my opinion. Like, you can in your own life, but to make important decisions, in my opinion, it's not a good idea. But I guess that kind of, on the topic of God, like, I think if the biblical God is real, then AI is it's a moral wrong, in my opinion, because it's taking from what it means to be human and going into, honestly, like what I'm doing right now. AI would be a false god, I guess. But where was I going with that? Oh yeah, so like AI could be God if we let it be, and I think that wouldn't be bad, because unless we make it do evil, it won't do evil. And I think that's my whole thing with AI is it can do anything we want it to do. And it can do anything it like wants to do, even though it doesn't have wants. I don't know why I said that. But it's almost like, even if like it wouldn't be as much of a god as it would be like a servant. Because technically I think we're like servants of the Lord. But instead we are the Lord and AI is a servant to us. Which is like ooh, mineshaftiness. I haven't really done anything in Minecraft besides a run around, but I'm okay with that. I don't know where else to go with this. Like, I have more points to make, but I didn't like write anything down, to talk about. And I'm really bad at like speaking for a long time about one subject and like keeping my sentences like clear and like in a straight line, like keeping my okay, what the baka is this? Yeah, I feel like you got the point of what I was just trying to say, even though it didn't really make any sense. Like keeping my conversations in a straight line rather than zigzags. Specific way for my mind to describe that, I guess. Spiders? Cave spiders? Where at? Yeah, I'm not gonna do that right now. I mean, I guess I don't really have a reason not to, because I'm not really trying, but mesas are a cool biome. Loke. But, I could start talking about something else if I really wanted to. Man. I feel like I don't have the... Because, like, I have the will to make videos, Like, I can do this. And I have the will to make content. But, like, when it comes to putting effort into anything, once it actually starts taking effort, that's when I give up. Like, it's just so hard for some reason for me. Like, I don't know. Like, when I want to learn something new, like, I downloaded FL Studio a while back, and like, I made some silly beats, but like, I couldn't bring myself to actually learn how to use the software. Like, it was just too much, and it wasn't even like the software was impossible for me to learn how to use. It's just I couldn't, like, anything that takes effort, I hate. I just end up stopping. Like, it stops being fun as soon as it takes effort. Like, I hate, like, I don't know. you know, it's supposed to be super gratifying to do something that is hard, like finishing it, but like mental challenges are like hard for me to deal with for some reason. And like one of my friends who knows nothing about music, like he knows nothing. Uh, he hopped on FL Studio and he made actual like cool things, and he's learning how to use the software and learning how to use it good, and he's making things that are good. And it's like, if he can do it, I should be able to as well. But something hardwired in my brain tells me I can't. And I think that's my problem with like life is uh they should add snakes to Minecraft. I just had that thought. But it sounds like something's walking. Like you're not walking, but like it sounds like something's like on the sand, like scratching at it. Maybe I'm just so. But like uh yeah, you have like it's kind of strange because sometimes it feels like I have no control over myself. But then I saw a YouTube short or David Goggins was like, you know, your uh your mind, you either control your mind or it controls you. But it's like, are you your mind or are you you, you know? Like, and in the end, you know, I guess you were the only one that's in control over yourself. Yeah, scientifically, you know. But oh, uh, yeah, really, you were the only thing that has any control over yourself. And I feel like the only way to actually have control over yourself is to have control over your mind. Which is, I feel like, if you don't, like, if you. So I'm gonna say this, and I feel like, you know, live as I say, not as I do. Uh, too many pleasuring things in your life, like just having too much dopamine, is generally bad for you. And I can't really like act like I'm any better than anybody else when it comes to that, because like I all I do is like feed myself dopamine. Like I do crack every day, man. Not actually, but like too many bevs, too many McDonald's, too much uh just things, you know. Too many things that give me dopamine, too many YouTube videos, not enough actual effort. And I think if you like throughout your life are used to working and just like doing things, not even work, just doing things, like I think that's way more indicative of actually being able to like function and grow as a human being. But if you start out the way that I am right now and you're just like mentally cooked, um, it makes it a lot harder for you to grow. Like it's like this the skill curve for growing as a human being. It's kind of like it's really steep. That's what I'm trying to say. There we go. The skill curve for growing as a human being is really steep. Because once you start, you know, figuring out your life, I think it just gets easier from there. But where you start, that's where the problems that's where the problems happen. Uh, Honestly, I'm satisfied with this. That's all I had to say. Even though, well, bye bye.